Hello, my dear children. We are done with the second lesson, which is motion in one dimension. It was a very huge lesson. We took almost about 2 weeks to complete that lesson. And I hope that each and every topic, each and every point is very, very clear with you all. Now, numericals are also done. Now, your part is to study these two lessons properly and thoroughly. Okay, so that you will be understanding motion as well when you are done with the first two lessons. Now we are going to start with the third lesson, which is called as the laws of motion. So in this laws of motion, we are first going to see contact and non-contact forces in details, then Newton's first law, second law and third laws of motions, as well as we are going to see gravity in this. Now when we are talking about force, okay, you have learnt about force in your sixth standard, right? From the sixth standard you started learning about force, I think so. Right from your fourth standard also you must be learning something about force, right? When we are talking about force, you learnt about what are the different types of forces, then what is the SI unit of force. These all things you learn in your eighth standard. You learn moment of force, many things you have learnt about force. So when we are talking about force, we say that force is a physical cause which changes or tends to change the shape or the size or a state of rest or motion of a body. So force is a physical cause. It's a physical cause. Because of that, because of force, a body has to change its shape. Because of force, a body has to change its shape. Because of the force, it has to change the state of the rest or the state of the motion. So we can say force is a physical cause. Okay, means we can say that a body has changed its shape. Why? Because of force. So here first we are going to analyze what are the different effects of force. So first effect of force is that it can change the state of the rest or motion of a body, and it can produce, that is, it can produce motion in a body. Now for example, I have a pen over here. This pen is at rest, right? This pen is at rest, and simply if I just push this pen, what have I done? I have changed its state of rest, right? And if this pen is in motion like this, okay, and suddenly I apply a force, say for example here I apply a force, okay, for example if it is moving like this and suddenly I apply a force, what happened? The pen has come to rest. So I can say that force, effect of force, it can change the state of the rest or state of a motion of a body, okay, that is, it can produce motion in a body if the body is at rest. So some examples are: push exerted by a broom moves the trash, ball lying on the ground moves when it is kicked, the pull exerted by horse moves a cart, pull exerted by steam engine moves a train, force due to gravity, fielder on the ground stops a moving ball by applying force with its hands. So these are few examples where we can say that force can change the state of the rest or it can change the state of the motion of a body. Then another example is when force is applied on the pedal of a cyclist, right? So we can say that if force is applied by a cyclist, I have just made it in a form of some points, so you can just go, we can see that thoroughly. Force applied by a cyclist, what happens when you are cycling, you increase, you give force to the pedal, what happens? The speed increases of your cycle. Then freely falling body, right? This we discussed in the last chapter also, that if a freely falling body, okay, if a body is suspended or released from the top, what happens? What happens to it? Its also speed will be increased, right? So what has happened here? Force is helping the speed to be increased. The effect of force is this. Then another one is speed of a moving vehicle. If a moving vehicle, if a vehicle is moving and we apply brakes to it, what happens? The speed is slowed down and it stops. Then a ball, a stone which is tied over here and it is moving in a circular direction. So what is happening? Every time it is changing its direction, right? Every time it will be changing in its direction. That means force is applied to the ball, that is facilitating the change in the direction. Then a player who is playing hockey changes the speed and direction of the ball, right? While playing hockey or even while playing football, the player will be changing the speed and the direction of the ball. So these are few examples which are given here. The same examples I have which is there in your textbook. That is first one, that is the force is applied by the on the pedal of the cyclist. Freely falling body gains speed, okay, due to the earth's pulling action. Then speed of a moving vehicle is slowed down by applying brakes. Then the stone which is tied to one end of the string, whirling at a constant speed in a horizontal circle will be changing its direction of motion continuously, and then due to the force of tension in the string which acts normal to the direction of the motion of the stone. So here you can see the stone is moving, it is, there will be a, this is the string which will be, the string will be having a tension, this, because of the tension in the string the direction of the motion will be taking place. Then afterwards we studied in cricket, tennis, badminton, the direction and the motion and the speed of the ball, right, changes by hitting it in a direction other than the direction of motion, right. When we when the badminton or in a cricket or a tennis or the badminton, what happens? A player hits you, hits the shuttlecock to you. What happens? You hit the shuttlecock back. So what are you doing? You are hitting it against the direction, right? The shuttlecock will be coming to you, but you are hitting it in a direction opposite, right? Opposite to the direction of the shuttle hitting you, right. Then a player applies force on the hockey stick to change the speed and the direction of the motion of the ball. So all these are the effects of forces, right. All these are effect of forces. That means first effect of force, which is it can change the state of the rest or it can produce motion. Then second one, it can change the size or the shape of the body, that is it can change the dimensions of the body. When we are dealing with dimensions, what do we mean? We mean the length, breadth and the height. So here two examples are there. One is of a spring, right. What happens when you suspend a load to the spring starts stretching, right. If the spring is here, if the load will be going down, so the spring will be stretched like this. So again changing the dimension of the spring or changing the shape and the size. Then another example is small piece of a silver sheet which is there, okay. If a silver sheet is there over here, if we hit it, we can make it into a flat little, like a silver thin foil we can make out of it. By how? By that is a force will be increasing the surface area of it. Then the steam, okay, the steam which is pushing out from the pressure cooker occupies a large volume, okay. Steam in this pressure cooker occupies a large volume in the atmosphere, right. On pressing a rubber piece of rubber, its shape will be changing. So all these are examples, rubber piece, or we can just take a example of a rubber band also. Then in a cycle pump, okay, cycle pump, piston is lowered, air is compressed to occupy a small volume, right. Cycle pump, we are pumping it, we will be pumping it, the piston will be lowered, and in the cycle the we can say that air will be compressed to occupy a small volume. So all these are examples of what it can change the size or the shape of the body, and it can change the state and the state of rest or motion of the body. So these two are the effects of force. Now here one important note is there about force. So we will be seeing that now when force is applied to a rigid and a non-rigid body, what are the conditions? Now when the force is applied to a rigid body means a body whose intercellular spacing, or we can say the intermolecular spacing, are fixed. So if I have a rigid body over here, okay, and if I apply force to this rigid body, there will be no effect, okay, there will be no effect on what? There will be no change in the dimensions, okay, as that is length and breadth and height when the body is rigid. So when I am applying force to a rigid body, there will be no change in the length, no change in the breadth and the height, and one thing will be there, that will be motion. There will be motion in the body, but there will be no change in the length, breadth and the height. But if force is applied to a non-rigid body, okay, in a non-rigid body what happens? The interspacing, okay, the interspacing will also change its dimensions and also the motion. So these two, this is an important note which is given in your book. Force when it is applied on a rigid body does not change the interspacing between the constituent particles, and therefore it does not change the dimensions, length, breadth and height, but causes only motion in it. But when we are talking about a non-rigid body, in a non-rigid body we can say that it changes the interspacing between the particles and causes the change in dimensions as well as the motion. So these are the important aspect of effect of force. So two effects of force are there over here. Force can change the state of rest and motion, and it can change the shape and the size, that's the dimensions of the body. Then finally we define force, which we already defined in the beginning. Force is that physical cause which changes or tends to change either the size, okay, or the shape or the state of the rest or motion of the body. So this is the definition of force. Then we have studied what are the two different types of forces. We have contact forces and we have non-contact forces. So first we are going to deal with the contact forces. Now what are actually contact forces? The forces which are applied on the bodies by making a physical contact with them are called contact forces, right? So when there is an actual contact between two bodies, okay, when there is a contact between two bodies, then only we can say that it is a contact force. For example, there are different examples for the contact forces. We have the frictional force, which you have learnt in 6th standard. Many things you learnt about friction. Then normal reaction force, forces of tension, force exerted by spring, and the force which are exerted on the two bodies when they are colliding or during the collision. So these are all different types of forces or examples of forces. So one by one we will be seeing the forces in details. Now frictional force, very easy, right? Now can you tell me one thing, that is frictional force applicable on the smooth body or on a book? If a book is placed on a smooth body, is it applicable or on a smooth table? No. So that time frictional force won't come into picture. So when will frictional force come into picture? Only when there is a rough surface. So we can say here that when a body will be sliding on a rough surface, a force is acting on the body in a direction opposite to the motion along the surface in contact, and this is called as frictional force, right? So here you can see that the book is on the table, right, and if I am pushing the book in this direction, what will be the frictional force? In the opposite direction. And when the book will be sliding on the rough surface. So when a book which is placed on the table is pushed to the right, the frictional force will be going towards the left. The force which comes into play as soon as the book tends to move and resist the motion of the book on the table top. Okay, so this force, frictional force, is what? It will be only applicable when the book will be pushed over here. There will be an opposing force which will be resisting, okay, which will be stopping the motion of the book. That will be the frictional force. So I hope you are clear what is frictional force. In your textbook also same thing is given. See here, the book is being pushed here, the force of friction is acting over here. So frictional force is a contact force. Can you see there is a contact between what? The frictional force, that is, and the book. When the book is moved this side, frictional force is acting that side. So that's the contact force. Then second force is the normal reaction.